Hi there folks, Gareth here from tracymat.co.uk, and I know we've looked at this before. This is the Archos 101 Oxygen. However, this has a pretty swanky little feature that has just been updated by Archos, and it allows you to use this. This is just a standard, well, it's actually a high capacity 16GB micro SD card as part of the Archos Fusion, and I'm going to see how easy it is to set this up. Now essentially Archos Fusion takes the storage that is already on board the tablet, which in this case is 16 gigabytes, isn't it, this tablet? Yeah, 16 gigabytes says there. This has been factory reset, so we'll have to set it up again. Okay, we're going for the UK. We'll just connect to Wi-Fi to give it that extra little bit of stability. Okay, so Archos don't have any full instructions of how to use Archos Fusion on their website. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug this in and hope for the best. Essentially, it should show the main ROM as being 32 gigabytes in size. This Archos 101 Magnum, no, not Magnus, Oxygen, features 16 gigabytes, but the micro SD card slot supports up to 128. So if you were to go out and buy yourself a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, plug it in, you should potentially have 144 gigabytes available to use using Archos Fusion. I'm not going to bother installing the bundle applications, although it is saying that there is an update available. Okay, so that should be another update downloaded and installed. We'll have a quick look and see what the update happens to be. Still running Android 4.4.4. There's the kernel version and the build number. Right, so my belief is correct. If we go to settings, storage, shows 13.8 gigabytes free. Alright, SD card, no SD card included there. So if we take this is the 16 gigabyte micro SD card, stick it in. Okay, new SD card has been detected. You can enable on Archos Fusion Storage to increase your storage. Enable. Okay. Archos can optimize the ready-use storage so that you can free some space for installing apps. No data will be lost. Optimize? Okay. So it has to do a restart. Now Archos doesn't have any information on their site as to whether or not there's concerns, obviously, for the main install of applications and things like that. If this becomes one with the 13.18 gigabytes of ROM and ups it to 29 gigabytes of ROM, what happens if you pull it out halfway through, because essentially the tablet is going to lose half of its main storage? I'd like to think that they have put some form of fail-safe in. Okay, optimize storage, optimize done. Some sort of fail-safe to help with incompatibilities. SD cards are somewhat unreliable as well. Okay, so it's showing 13.18 gigabytes of total space still there. SD card is mounted. Right. That's still there. Oh, we can just wipe it away if we want. Okay, so under settings we have another menu that is actually the Archos Fusion Storage menu. Okay, so we can disable it, we can optimize, then we've got memory usage, internal and SD card. Total space, total available is 27.75. Internal available, SD card available. Total used, internal used, SD card used. Alright, I'm trying to work out how to test this. If we could download an app, One of the things I want to do is to go into the files and see how things are set up, because Android does get increasingly messy when it comes to the file structure, because you have an SD card and you have ROM, and then sometimes you can have an extra emulated SD card, or most of the time. So I want to see where the SD card comes onto this, or if it's just something as simple as having an application that shows you what's available. See over here, it shows no SD card, it shows internal. That's 27.75, and they're that's right, that does that. So it is kind of all merged under one file structure here. But okay, so I've just installed Astro to see what it makes of this new storage solution, to see what way it pops up. Okay, so under here we have SD card, SD and storage, emulated and SD 0. See, this is where things get confusing again. So the structure does seem to be somewhat intact. It might be an overlay that's connected to the application. So we go back, and there we have SD card and storage. That SD card is a shortcut, and storage, there's a shortcut there. SD, there's nothing in that, and SD card. So it's not that Android has particularly been rewritten in any specific form of way. So obviously you can't mess around with it too much. Still shows that the total space is almost 14 gigabytes there, and the SD card has been inserted. It's this application here that does most of the wizardry for maybe some of the other applications that are installed, the media player and the files explorer. There's a couple of videos on that SD card, though it doesn't really, the Android media player doesn't break down exactly where it's coming from, it just shows you them all lumped together. So that videos folder is on the SD card, so it appears in the main line here, as opposed to being under an SD card. So it is a sensible solution for people who are very much going to be using the Android video application plus the files explorer. It makes it a little easier to navigate around. The likes of Astro and ES File Explorer show it the same way that Android would. It's a handy tool for that if you have this tablet. It may seem as a bit of a gimmick, but it would actually help you organize things a little better, so you know exactly where you're putting it. But I'm guessing if we were to download something from Chrome, a video say, it would ask where we want to put it. That would show up the original structure of the folders, and then once it's downloaded you go into one of these applications, and it would probably help this application find things more, having essentially these shortcuts built into it to allow you to get to the SD card that easily. Okay, so that's Android Fusion, something that I think Google should really look into as well, where you can link together SD card and internal ROM as well. I do wonder if the extra USB ports up here would be able to utilize the Fusion as well. So if you were to plug in a micro USB compatible hard drive or flash drive, then you might be able to add that into the storage as a more permanent resident. For the likes of using Android on a desktop, this would be invaluable. It would be an excellent way to approach things, to be able to bring all storage together as one big storage method. So yeah, check out the videos of the Archos 80B Helium 4G. It should be around some of the links, and also the Archos 50 Oxygen Plus, which is quite a nice little phone. All of these devices are fairly well priced, have some nice ideas put into them to make things a little more exciting for the user and a little more thoughtful, easier to speed your way around the device to get to what you want when you want. Most devices from Archos are going to be compatible with this Archos Fusion Storage, and obviously you don't have to use it if you don't want to, because there are options there to turn it off. But I would imagine you would need to optimize it quite frequently, especially if you're downloading quite a lot of games. On Android you would tend to try a game, then get rid of a game, and try another game and get rid of another game, which generally leaves a lot of residue around the memory cards and things. So things can get very complicated very quickly in the innards of Android. This kind of solution might help sort that out and make it a little easier for you to be able to find your stuff when you need it. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, and take care now.